Alright, man. Here we go. Here we go now. Here we go. Alright, enough of that. I'm ready to show off this. I shouldn't say show off. This is an unfinished version of the deck. Gee, I think you won that. 6-1. Yeah, this is a version of the deck wherein I don't have all of the cards that I would need. So unfortunately, now I should also note really quickly, there is there are lots of proxies in here, but there's one card that I very much don't have. These sleeves are actually translucent. I can barely see through the back of them. And so, if I want to take, if there's one card I'm missing and I want to turn a card around to be, you know, where the back of the card would be showing up in the front of the sleeve. I can't do that with these because then I would see through the back that it's one of those cards. So instead, I just put a proxy over the card itself. So you will see a card that's very much not modern legal in here. Ooh. I really don't think I should keep this hand. I am on the draw. And actually, I do have something interesting that I can do if I do keep this. So because I'm on the draw, I'm going to keep it against my better judgment. There is something that's coming up with this hand. I debated how many basics I wanted to have in this deck, if any. And because it's not a deck that really benefits much from my opponent path to exiling my creature. So I would use basics for basically Field of Ruins, Ghost Quarter, and Blood Moon. And I guess, I mean, I'm finding an instance where that might make a difference. Then again, this is also the unfinished version of the deck. Alright. Keeping, okay. You're up. Shambling, nope.
Go ahead.
Okay. Alright. We're gonna go Copperline Gorge, and of course 2 or fewer lands. Faithless Looting. Draw 2, discard 2. Draw 2. Discard. Ew. Ooh. Ooh. I like both of these. Discard 2. Life from the Loam and Necroplasm. And Necroplasm. Beginning of my upkeep, put a +1/+1 counter on it. At the end of my turn, destroy each creature with CMC equal to the number of +1/+1 counters. So it's interesting, to say the least. And then I'll pass the turn. Hey, Bitter Blossom.
Go ahead.
I'm not actually so worried about that card here, believe it or not. Do I want to take a draw here, or do I want to dredge? I think that the answer has to be I dredge. So we're going to dredge 3, Life from the Loam, 1, 2, 3. Life from the Loam, Stinkweed Imp, Vengeful Pharaoh. Now Vengeful Pharaoh is probably a reader, even though it's not really a big deal against your deck. I mean, it is, but not really, no. So, Death Touch as a 5/4, but no one cares about that, because it's not hitting the field. If it is, we're in a weird spot. But what matters really is that whenever I'm dealt damage, or a Planeswalker I control is, if it's in my grave, destroy target attacking creature, then put it on top of my library, where I will dredge it again the next turn, and so on and so forth. So it's in my yard. Cool. So there we go, there's that. Let's see. Don't know that I want to do that just yet, so I think we're actually going to... How quickly do I want to try to do this? I think the right play is Swamp, Dangerous Wager. This is not what the card's supposed to be. It's supposed to be Cathartic Reunion, and that would make a pretty big difference here. It wouldn't even be a choice if this were Cathartic Reunion. Alas, it is not. Dangerous Wager is discard your hand and draw 2 cards, instead of discard 2 cards, draw 3. So, as close to strictly better as you can imagine. So I will discard everything, and I will draw 2. Well, we have a Stinkweed Imp, so we're actually going to dredge 5 here. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hi, Phantasmagorian. And I see another Stinkweed Imp, so we're going to do it again. Alright. We're going to show the contents of the grave in just a sec. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Cool, I have 2 Stinkweed Imps in my graveyard. Yay! Or in my hand, rather, I should say. Everything else is in the graveyard. Alright, so cool. Now we get to the fun part of the deck, where we can divide the graveyard. We can show what I have here. This is not something you're allowed to do on professional coverage anymore, but we're not on professional coverage, and this makes a lot more sense, frankly. It's a little harder for some viewers, but for the player, this is... I don't know how Dredge players can't do this. Okay. So we are seeing why this is not something that's necessarily preferred. And also the OCD in me. Hey, that didn't help much, but that's a thing. Alright, so here we go. Cool. It's important to be able to keep track of what I need in here. Alright, so then I will pass the turn. Bitter Blossom, take the 1. I'm not feeling particularly well, but I'll live. You look worse than I think I feel. Okay. Isolated Chapel. That's their check land. Alright. Untap. You know, I'm not seeing another Stinkweed Imp, so I think what we're supposed to do here... We can't, actually. Phantasmagorian is in the graveyard, but we need to Life from the Loam. So we're going to do that. We're going to Life from the Loam, Dredge 3. 1, 2, 3. Hey, Bazaar of Baghdad! This is not a Bazaar of Baghdad. This is Stomping Ground, because I don't have a Stomping Ground. If you're thinking, well, wait a minute, you have a Bazaar of Baghdad and you don't have a Stomping Ground, so, that's what's going on there. I will have you know. Alright, so we're going to cast Life from the Loam and get 3 lands back. One of them we're going to play, it's Crypt of Agadeem. And we're going to get 2 more. We're going to get Crypt of Agadeem, Crypt of Agadeem. Cool. Whee! And while you're taking your turn, I'm going to be sorting this back out. So, Bitter Blossom, check, you're at 18. I'm about to be at 19. Yeah, Dredge. Dredge, baby, Dredge. And by the way, this is the suboptimal version of the deck. Okay, Sorin Solemn. Nice.
Just gonna go to 5.
This is the lifelink +1/+0?
Yep.
Cool.
And in for 2.
Alright. Let's swap life totals, I guess.
Go ahead.
Alright. Untap. Upkeep. Phantasmagorian. We're going to discard 3 cards. Return it from my graveyard to my hand. So I have 2 cards in hand. Importantly, though, I have a Stinkweed Imp in my yard. Which means I can dredge 5. Which is what we're going to do. So we're going to dredge 5 here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That could have gone better, but we'll take it. We will take that. Alright, we're going to move all this over. As you can probably tell, I'm not super worried about what we have going on right now. I see that he is starting to put on the pressure, but I'm not super worried about that just yet. We may have to start doing a price check in just a moment, though. So, Crypt of Agadeem. Let's let that come in tapped. And then... let's do a price check while we're here. Necroplasm, Vengeful Pharaoh, which oh, now that I think about it, that better be a May trigger. Oh no, it's not! It's a must! I must do this. Well, it's too late now, but we'll know for later. I had thought that this was May, so that is my bad entirely. That is 100% my bad. future reference, Vengeful Pharaoh is not a trigger that you can miss. Yeah. And if you're thinking, well, why would you want to miss that? The reason is because if I do it, it goes back on top of my deck, and that effectively reduces the number of dredges I get by 1. Although, with a Bitter Blossom out, removing 1 creature per turn, that's not the worst thing in the world, but I'm going for the kill here, so... And you'll see what I mean in just a second. So anyway, back to a price check. Unfortunate, Vengeful Pharaoh is unfortunate. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I'm counting black creatures. 6, 7, 8. Alright, 8. 8 mana. 8 mana. How many cards do you have in hand?
3.
Which is exactly enough to counter a Phantasmagorium by discarding his hand. When I cast it, you may discard 3 cards. If you do, you counter it. If you really feel like discarding 3 cards. Spoiler alert, probably not what you're looking to do here, but just a thought. Okay. So, I think what I'm supposed to do here is... supposed to probably cast you. I'll have 5 mana left over. There's nothing this deck can do for 5 mana with that. Alternatively, let's get a little deeper in the deck, actually. Let's get a little bit deeper in the deck. We're going to flashback of Faithless Looting. Why that one, I don't know. But we're going to dredge 5. Hope we get at least 1 black creature to make up for that one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hey, we did. Alright. Now, that's 1 down. Do I have another Stinkweed Imp? I do not. And that means I'm going to probably... I don't want to use another black creature here if I can, so I might just do a Life from the Loam, simply because even though it's dredge 1 less, it maintains the same number of black creatures in the yard. So we are going to do that, exactly. We are indeed going to do that. We're going to... Life from the Loam, 1, 2, 3. Okay, it would have worked anyway. Now I have to discard 2 cards. We're going to discard Phantasmagorian and Stinkweed Imp. Alright, so if it's not clear what the deck's trying to do yet, don't worry, give it just a second. It won't take long, and then we're going to pass the turn. Alright, so... when he attacks, I will have to remember Vengeful Pharaoh is not a may, it's a must. Alright. Plus... okay, and the emblem is at the beginning of each opponent's upkeep, I have to sack a creature. Cool. Oh, God. Yeah, that's fair. Actually.
And for 4.
Okay, so now we're going to remember, I'm going to take 4, that happens first. Then, Vengeful Pharaoh will kill one of them. Goes back on top of the deck. I don't get a say in that, unfortunately.
Go ahead.
Okay. So now, untap, upkeep, nothing. Draw is going to be... I think I want to keep a Stinkweed Imp here, just as 1 extra black creature. Alright, we're going to have the Vengeful Pharaoh jump in no matter what. This is going to be a lot of creature. I'm going to make a ton of mana. This is going to get silly real quickly. We're going to do a Life from the Loam here, actually. Even though I don't draw... it's fine. It's fine. We have a Phantasmagorian in the yard, so it's actually fine. We're going to dredge 5. Stinkweed Imp, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, what do you know? Oh my god, we're going to live the dream. We are living the dream, YouTube. This is what the deck was born to do. Okay, so he has too many cards in my hand for just to go completely all out. Instead, this is the version of restraining this is restraining myself. What I'm about to do here. Phantasmagorian, get these in the yard. In exchange, it's back in my hand. Field, hand, graveyard. 2, tap for Crypt of Agadim. We're going to do yet another price check, which is 1, 2, oh excuse me, not you. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I have 13 black creatures in my yard. That means I make 13 black mana. That's all. That's all the mana I'm going to make here. Now let's see. 13 actually isn't quite enough. So, because of this, we're going to make a little bit more. We're going to spend 2 of that, 11, add 13, make 24 mana. And we are going to, let's see, 24 mana, 7, 17, 24. Perfect. So we're going to cast a Phantasmagorian. Would you like to you don't have enough cards to discard anyway. Phantasmagorian. We're going to cast a Spider Spawning and cast, fortunately, since there are no creatures in the deck that aren't black, the number is the same. So I'm going to make 13 black spider tokens. And then, because, you know, why not, we're going to cast Army of the Damned and make 13 2/2 zombies that are tapped. And this is how the deck wins. It tries to tilt the opponent by slowly moving onto their side of the board. But they do come in tapped. These are 1/2s with reach. These are 2/2s. This is a 6/6. That's all. Pass turn. Insert Damnation, Wrath of God, or Elspeth middle here. Well, actually, the Elspeth wouldn't help much at all. Uh-oh. So you're taking 2 here, go to 21.
Path.
Alright. Wait a second. Nope, it's gone, actually. Let me see before I search my deck if I can. I'm gonna have to shuffle anyway, but since this is a casual game. Yeah, I do actually get to. There should be. No, I don't. I have no more basics. Would you like to cut? Okay, cool.
Damnation.
There it goes. So that's the reason why we didn't go all in. And believe it or not, that is not all in for the deck. Although I am surprised you didn't attack first.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I have reach, but, you know, lifelink and all. Okay.
Go to 4.
Cool. Oh, okay, that's why. That's why. Alright. Fair enough.
Go ahead.
Okay, that makes sense. We're going to untap here. We're going to take a life from the loam. Oh. Yeah, we're going to take a life from the loam. 1, 2, 3. So we just increased the total by 1. There are now 14 black creatures in the yard. So what can I do with all of this? I have enough mana. I don't need to cast life from the loam anymore. If I go 1... I'm going to make a bunch of black mana first. So it's 1, 2... and then make 14 mana, make green, spend 1 of this, I'll have 13 black mana left over. I can Life from the Loam, get back yet another Crypt of Agadim, probably. And then I still have 13 mana that I can spend on an Army of the Damned. So that's what I'm going to do. So we're going to get back 3 lands, we're going to play a Crypt of Agadim, though it comes in tapped. And I'll have 13 mana left over after all of this. 2 more lands are going to go to my hand. Forest, because basics, I guess. And Grove of the Burn Willows, because doesn't hurt my life total, I guess. And then we're going to cast Army of the Damned again and get 13 more zombies, 13 more Zambonis. And then Life from the Loam is not in my hand anymore, it's in the yard. Because I just cast that. And then we pass the turn. Alright, put you to 19. Yay, blockers. And if you're thinking, yes, there was another play that you could have made, there was, but I don't, with 2 Bitter Blossoms out, I don't think it was ideal. Which is I could have gotten Necroplasm back and cast it, and it would kill your 2/2. And then you make another one and Bitter Blossom goes off anyway, and, you know, Necroplasm wouldn't kill them on the next turn. This is the nerfed version of the deck. Nerfed as long as you ignore this card. It's a Stomping Ground. Elspeth. Okay. Yeah. Oh, you did that against the Life from the Loam deck. I know you had to, but dang, man. Okay, fair enough. Alright. 26 power, but I'm looking at his side of the board, too. 1 card in hand?
Yep.
Dredge 3. 1 to a Army of the Damned, number 3. Showing up like a boss.
They're all 2/2s, right?
They're all 2/2s. Whee!
Trade with 3 of them.
Yep.
Push a 4th one.
Okay. I'll have 9 left. You will gain 6 life.
7.
I'm sorry, that's a 2/2?
That's a 3/2.
That's a 2/2 to start. Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Is it the other sword that makes a 1/1?
Yes.
Okay, okay. I was confuzzled. Okay, so you will gain 7 then, go to 26, and you'll take 18, so you'll go to 8 altogether. Cool, and I've already adjusted down to 9. Main 2. I really don't want to play another Spider Spawning or Army of the Damned just yet. I really don't want to open myself to more removal. I think I'm fine where I am. So we're going to Life from the Loam here. Get back Crypt of Agadeem and F-all. We're going to meme on people and get 2 Bazaars of Baghdad. A Stomping Ground, I mean. And let's see. Then we will pass the turn. Alright. Wrath. Okay. So that's the deck. That's what happens when you dump 2/3 of your deck into your graveyard. Related to what we were just talking about, you and I did build a deck that started out with the intent to mess up people over at Tapstart, where it was supposed to beat Affinity and Tron. I'm looking at you, Robert and Gunnar, if you're watching this video. But it ended up being a more general deck that just happened to have those really strong matchups. It had weird things like 4 main board Braid, 4 main board Fulminator, Fulminator Mage, 4 main board Kolaghan's Commands, Blood Moons. It basically was a Rakdos control deck, but with a focus on beating those particular decks. You're not going to win any Pro Tours with it, I imagine. I would be exceedingly surprised. Oh, you're on the play, I take it, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
This is a hand. You'll notice that something is missing. So this is nice. All this is nice.
I'll keep.
And I'll keep as well, but you'll notice something might be missing from here. But if we can get there, we're good. We're set. So go for it. Take thy turn, good sir.
And
Yeah.
Inkwell.
Okay, so you're going to be able to take either a Shambling Vent or one of 2 Stinkweed Imps. Everything else is land. I am walking away because I'm getting the charger. Ah, there you are.
Take a shell.
Yeah, this is just a stupid question, but I want to make absolutely positively sure. Once you've elected a target player and it's resolved, you must take something, right? So you gotta take the Dredge 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but that is the right play. Taking the one with the smallest dredge number.
Go ahead.
Okay. And I already have 4 lands in the hand, so I'm not worried about what I'll find. So we're going to get this Bright back at the cost of 1, 2, and a life from the loam. This is, in case people didn't watch Game 1, this is not Bazaar of Baghdad, this is Stomping Ground. Just pretend you didn't see that. It's actually Stomping Ground. Okay, in all seriousness. Pass turn. Verdict Catacombs, Eggo. There go my Eggo.
Marsh Flats. Relic.
Hey!
Go ahead and tap a relic.
I will take out my, I'll take out my Stomping Ground.
Yep. Go ahead.
Okay. You will give me a moment to get that in just a moment. We're gonna... Oh! That's probably what... It doesn't matter. Verdant Catacombs.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go and get an Overgrown Tomb. So I'm at night take... Oh, excuse me. I would like to untap, upkeep. Very good.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to draw. And I will draw, replacing it with Dredge 3.
Mm-hmm.
1, 2, 3. It's upside down. That's alright. Alright, so it was 2 Street Wraiths and a Blood Crypt. I've seen worse. I've seen 3 Street Wraiths in the yard already, though, so this is odd. Alright, oh, you're on the field. This is my hand. I play Revealed, especially in friendlies like this. It's just easier on everyone. Okay, so we're gonna Copperline Gorge, Life from the Loam. Would you like to pop your relic?
Mm-mm.
No? Okay, so Life from the Loam is gonna get back Verdant and Blood Crypt. And it's back in the yard. Cool. And then I will pass the turn.
EOT?
Yep. Now I will try to get the charger on. Trying to do live commentary.
There's a dog snores in the background.
Oh, yeah. Oh, those make this so much better, man. So much better. I'm not sure with this microphone how audible that would have been had you not said anything.
Forgot that I didn't mix all my Inkwell.
Oh no. Hey! Yep. Take a Street Wraith.
Mm-hmm.
When in doubt, use the relic earlier so that I have fewer choices for what to get rid of. Lily?
Life's the only dredge you have in there.
Life is the only dredge card. Yeah, if you're thinking about popping it to yeah, I wouldn't. Alright. I would like to go to upkeep. That's cool. Dredge 3. 1. Oh, good. It's upside down again. 2. 3. Okay. Now we have a Stinkweed Imp. There's a point at which you'll want to pull the trigger. It's coming up pretty soon. I'm going to fetch here. I'm going to go to 18. Going to get a swamp. Just a swamp. Good old swamp. As you do. That particular swamp. Thank you for the Zindi swamp, by the way. Appreciate it. I do. Hey. Like to cast Life in the Loam. Alright. Whee! You will draw your card, good sir. Well, that happened, and then not much I can do. I'll pass the turn. I don't know that that was quite the right time to do that. Maybe you, I mean, you have access to your hand. You know better than I. Hey! Alright, Necroplasm, show up when you can.
Go ahead.
Cool. Alright, we're gonna dredge 3. 3 más. 1, 2, 3. Hey! That's a sight for sore eyes. Good to see you, Phantasmagorian. Good to see you. Alright. Let's see. Insert another relic here is probably how that goes. Do I cast the Life in the Loam? I already have one in the yard. Do I cast the or not cast? Yeah, cast the Stinkweed Imp just as a blocker. It is a 1/2 with flying. That's a little awkward if I do, because I don't know when it'll die. But the trick is I don't really have a clock yet, and Lingering Souls could legit kill me if I'm not careful. Legitimately kill me. We're gonna try it. Hey, yo.
Okay. End the turn.
Well, okay. Fail to find. Would you like to cut? I have 2 basics in the deck. They just happen to be right here. Okay. This is not a deck that's usually susceptible to Path to Exile. Weird plays like that give pause.
One for 2.
Come on. Flashback.
Flashback Souls.
Yep. Fair enough.
Go ahead.
In return, Phantasmagorian is going to put 3 cards in the yard in exchange for itself. Alright. I'm 1 card shy from being able to do that yet again. So, if I Stinkweed Imp here, I won't be able to get Crypt back this turn. However, I don't think I'm under a quick enough clock, so we are going to take the extra 2 dredge. Alright. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, cool. That paid off in dividends. paid off in dividends. You know what I mean. Hey there. Alright, so that was fun. Grove.
Mm-hmm.
Stinkwade. Pass turn.
In the turn.
Oh my god, are you gonna do it again?
Pass.
Yeah, wow. Jeez. Jeez. I'm actually letting that card do something. Pass turn. It's okay, fam. We're okay. It's not the end of the world yet. Fam. I just referred to the T1 clan as fam.
Thoughtseize.
Take Phantasmagorian. That's the only choice. Admittedly, that is more or less where it wants to be. Yes, 4 Hunters. A.
Go ahead.
Now, just to make sure, you don't have any more cards with Lingering and Souls in the name in your graveyard, right?
Oh.
Or, I wouldn't think so. Alright, so we're gonna Dredge 2 here, and get our Necroplasm back. Dredge 2 is you and you. Okay, so we actually went down a black creature, but again, we haven't found Crypt of Agadeem, so we're okay with this. Play a land. 1, 2, gotta play another black. 3. End of turn, trigger, at the end of my turn, destroy each creature with CMC equal to the number of +1/+1 counters. It has 0 +1/+1 counters, so destroy all the tokens. And pass turn.
Revolt trigger, push.
Yep. I mean, what am I even supposed to do?
Go ahead.
Okay, cool. Let's see what other neat little tricks we have. We're gonna try this for the umpty-7th time. Stinkwade Imp. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We still haven't... We have 3 Army of the Damned, and we still haven't found a single Crypt of Agadeem. There is something wrong with this. And actually, we're at risk of losing if we're not careful. Actually, it's not a matter of being careful, it's luck. It is RNG. And right now, there's no reason to cast the Stinkweed Imp. It really doesn't do me any good right here at all. 'Cause I'm not even chump blocking with it. So there's not a point in casting at... He's at 17. That's not a real clock. I risk it getting pathed again. With 2 cards in hand. What are the odds? 100% guaranteed. So instead, I think that we're probably... You know what? Against my better judgment, I am strongly considering casting the Stinkweed Imp. Now, hear me out. The reason is actually because it can get killed at some point, and that puts it back in the yard. But it's probably easier to go into the yard from the hand in this particular deck, so we're going to pass the turn. Oh boy.
Go ahead.
No Elspeth yet. Alright, how's about we... Life from the Loam. 1, 2, 3. Okay, cool. There's a crypt. At long last, you finally decided to show up. Life from the Loam. Crypt. Wooded Foothills. Who even gives a crap? Verdant Catacombs. Play the crypt because, obviously, you are actually in the graveyard now. Thank you, buddy. Got a little ahead of ourselves. Alright, I will make this work somehow. And then we're still not going to cast the Stinkweed Imp, but we are going to pass the turn. Okay, so we are finally at the point where we can start doing stuff.
Go ahead.
Okay, cool. Price check. Actually, no, let's wait till we do this.
I think it's maybe 2.
There's about a life from the loam. Yeah, it can't be that many. You've done a pretty good job at dealing with... Hey! Wow! The sudden +3. I love when your land says suddenly you make 3 extra mana. Alright, so price check time. 1, 2, 3... Oh! Okay, it would stay the same. Phantasmagorian would just replace itself with a Stinkweed Imp, so that's going to be the same. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so a Crypt would make 7 mana, 2 to activate it and then tap. So we're talking 11 mana right now. What we're going to do is we're going to cast a Spider... It's fine, it doesn't actually change anything. We're going to cast a Spider Spawning, again, 7. So Spider Spawning from the yard, we're going to put it on 7, 7 1/2s with reach. For the rest of the turn, fetch, for the sake of deck thinning.
This same one you... No, that was the first turn you got.
No, yeah, I played the Crypt last turn. Are you fucking kidding me? 1 basic, 2 basics, Overgrown Blood Crypt. How many Bazaars do I have in here? I must have missed 1. Okay, I did. So again, that's a Stomping Ground. Despite appearances, that is a Stomping Ground. I swear, I'll have that fixed for the next game. I'll have a lot of this fixed for the next game. Dangerous Wager is not a card this deck is supposed to run. Lightning Axe is supposed to be in the main board, and so on and so forth. Okay, cool. And then, with all that said and done, we're going to cast a Life from the Loam, getting back Verdant Catacombs, Grove of the Burn Willows, Grove of the Burn Willows. That's back in the yard, right where it's supposed to be, right where Richard Garfield intended. And then, pass turn. That's all. Just 7 power on the board. The Spider Spawning, admittedly, is usually not how I win, it's how I don't lose.
Go ahead.
Untappity tap tap. Sure. Phantasmagorian. And then Stinkweed Imp. Alright, so you know where this is going. I'm going to dredge 5 instead. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ooh, net -1. That's not where I want to be. So that means that Crypt is now going to make 6 mana instead, because I lost a black creature, Phantasmagorian, added a black creature, Stinkweed, and then lost it again without replacing it with another one. So that's unfortunate, but that happens. Yeah. For as much as Golgari Gravetroll was awesome, the fact that it doesn't count for Crypt of Agadeem, which only counts black creatures, means that even though you're dredging 6, sometimes it feels like you're dredging 5. Because you're taking it out. And it wouldn't count anyway. It's a weird way of putting it, but, well, you know what I mean. Okay. I don't want to give you too many more turns, so we're going to swing 7, push one of them. How do you feel like taking 6? Puts you to 11. Yeah, we're just going to going to 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Army of the Damned. And make 13 zombies tapped. Pass turn. Okay. It's down to 10 life. Deck thinning. Time for Damnation, Wrath of God, etc. Although, unfortunately, even if you have one of those Wrath spells, I have 2 more armies in the yard. So, yeah. This is tough. This is a tough spot for a deck like yours. And even the counterspell decks, they pretty much have to have a hard counter turn after turn. I can play around Mana Leak, obviously, when Crypt of Agadim makes 90 million mana.
That's good.
Okay. Do you mind if I see what what your hand at the end was?
It's a Thought Season land.
Ooh, yeah, that'll do it. Yeah, and at the end here we dredge 3 from life and we get another crypt, a charm, a charm. So it didn't change anything there at the end, but... Okay, so obvious Golgari Charm is obvious. That was a sideboard card. I wanted to see for hitting things like Bitter Blossom or removing tokens. The regen rarely matters. It matters for Fatal Push. I actually don't think that was quite the right timing for you to pop the Relic. I think a better timing, if it were me, take this for whatever it's worth, is to have popped it at the end of my draw step after the Life from the Loam, or not at the end of the draw step, at the end of my turn when Life from the Loam is in the graveyard. And I no longer have any dredge cards in the yard. Because you were doing it in response to a Life from the Loam, so Relic resolves, Life from the Loam doesn't get anything, goes in the yard, and now I have a dredge engine. Even if it's a small dredge engine, Life from the Loam is such a good dredge card that there's a whole legacy deck built just on it. So that's my tiny little bit of advice to you. When dealing with those sort of soft I can win cards, most of the time you're supposed to wait as long as you think you can. The exception is when you're dealing with delve creatures like Tassiger and Gurmag Angler, because they can be cast before you get a chance to respond. You don't have priority when they're being cast. So 3 Golgari Charms, and I took out 3 cards that were the deck in its... I'll say when I get over there. Were the deck in its fullest form, I don't know that I actually would have taken them out. They were, as you can imagine, the 2 Dangerous Wagers, because worst Cathartic Reunion. Vengeful Pharaoh doesn't do very much against you. At all. I'm not dealing with creatures permanently in this deck. Or at least it's very rarely the case. I don't think Vengeful Pharaoh can kill a Gideon. I'd have to look at how it's worded, if it's prevent damage or indestructible. Indestructible. So Vengeful Pharaoh doesn't really deal with anything in your deck permanently. Yeah. Shambling Vent.
Damage on Juro.
Oh yeah, on that one? Okay, so Vengeful Pharaoh would deal with Gideon and a Shambling Vent. And Bitter Blossom tokens turn after turn. And that's about it. So I think the Charm is better in that. That said, Charm might not even make the final cut, because if I don't have it in my opening hand, it does nothing in this deck. It doesn't do anything when it's in the yard. Yeah.